Breaking news, the Chicago Bears are involved in trade talks for quarterback Matthew Stafford. What is going on, y'all? FaizSportsTalk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL, and here to talk about, of course, this breaking news for the Chicago Bears. So if you're a Bears fan or an NFL fan at large, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Make sure you're following me on all my social media platforms. The place to follow me, Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. Make sure you have the post notifications turned on. Hit the bell icon. Do all of that, folks. Trust me, ton of NFL content. You don't want to miss out. So we have breaking news about Matt Stafford and the Bears' so-called interest in him. Let's talk about it right now. All right, so the Bears are apparently interested in Matthew Stafford and are looking to trade for him. But where is this coming from? Well, it's actually coming from Albert Breer, who is a reporter for the NFL. I believe he works for the Monday Morning Quarterback as well as NBC Boston. And he basically came on Periscope and answered questions from fans, I believe. And one of those involved teams that have, shown interest and reached out to Matthew Stafford. And he listed about 7 teams. And one of those teams were the Chicago Bears, basically confirming that the Bears have had conversations with the Detroit Lions for quarterback Matthew Stafford. So what's my quick takeaway? Not surprised at all. Here's the thing. I mentioned Matthew Stafford would be the second best option for the Chicago Bears after quarterback Deshaun Watson in terms of their list of free agent quarterback prizes. I mean, it's Deshaun Watson obviously at the top. No one's even close. And then there's a drop-off, but then there's Matthew Stafford. I have him ranked above all the other guys. I mean, we're talking about ahead of Jimmy Garoppolo, Derek Carr, Carson Wentz, all these other guys that I mentioned. Matt Stafford, I'll take him over those guys any day of the week, twice on Sundays. And so with Matthew Stafford, the issue was never the fact that I didn't believe it was a good move or that the Bears weren't going to trade for him. I believe they want to. The issue has always been that he plays or did play for the Detroit Lions, who are in the same division as the Chicago Bears. And that's where it just became really complicated because you rarely see teams trade within the division. And it makes sense, right? Why would I want to trade somebody in my division and face them 2 times a year? Why would I want to do that? It makes sense. And that's the same reason why I never considered the Colts a legitimate threat as a trade partner for the Houston Texans for a Deshaun Watson trade. Like, that's trading Deshaun Watson within the division. And so the same thing here with Matthew Stafford. And honestly, folks, it's interesting because if Matthew Stafford did not play for the Lions and he was not within the Bears division, I may have said that Matt Stafford would be a better fit. I might even go ahead and say, that he's a better fit in terms of what the Bears are looking for than even a Deshaun Watson in this way, right? This is not hyperbole here. In this way, he's not a better quarterback than Deshaun, but with the Bears having an aging defense that probably only has a couple of seasons left, and Matt Stafford being a quarterback that obviously is on the back end of his prime, he would probably fit the timeline better for the Bears than a Deshaun Watson would, right? Deshaun's a very young quarterback. He's got 10 years left in this league, maybe more. Matt Stafford, we don't know yet, but he is certainly on the back end of his prime, and so he would fit that timeline better for the Bears. Now, he's not a better quarterback, not even close. It's Deshaun Watson, but that's why I would have said that. But really, after realizing that he plays for the Lions within the division, it's just not going to be feasible for me to think that they would do it. I'm trying to convince myself, I really am, and I'm not surprised that the Bears have reached out. They want to know, what it's going to cost, and it's going to be cheaper than it is to get a Deshaun Watson, way cheaper to get a Matt Stafford. I believe you might only have to give up for 1 first-round pick to get him. And so, he's going to cost less. He fits the timeline better. Everything adds up, but he plays within the division. Now, we know Brett Favre played for the Packers and then he went to the Vikings. Like, it's happened before. Is it impossible? No. But I still have my reservations. I love Matt Stafford. Got no issues. I would love Matt Stafford. Told you, after Deshaun, it's Matt Stafford for me. I think he'd be a phenomenal fit. He's perfect for what the Bears are looking for. And I think he'd be a great fit here. It's just the fact that it's within the division. I just don't know if they do it. So, in the case of Stafford, he doesn't, I believe, have a no trade clause, but I do think they're going to want to trade him to a team that he wants to go to. I think that's at least what the Lions owe Matt Stafford after him, pretty much wasting his career. But That's kind of how I feel about it. So I'd love it. Just don't think it'll happen because it's within the division. And as far as my prediction for where Matt Stafford ends up, number one to me is the Colts. It's just a perfect fit. I mean, all they need is a quarterback, literally. That's all they need. Elite defense, elite coaching staff, elite offensive line. They just need a quarterback. And it's a pretty weak division, too. After that, probably say San Fran. I'd love to see him with Kyle Shanahan. So those would be my top two teams for Matt Stafford. Again, he gets out of the division, maybe gets out of the conference, and he gets paired up with some, good play callers, and that's kind of how I feel about it. So would love to see him on the Bears. I'm not surprised the Bears are literally going to look at every quarterback this offseason. They're going to try to address the quarterback position. The offseason is all about quarterback. I've been telling you guys that. Don't be shocked. This doesn't mean he's getting traded to the Bears for sure. I'm not as optimistic because of the obvious reason of him playing within the division. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think it happens? Let me know down below. Leave a comment if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.